All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er mock draft 6.0. We've done one almost every week for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and now we are on mock draft 6.0. And we're going to use a different mock draft today because sometimes when you use the same simulator, you kind of know what players are going to be sitting where, and it's not quite the true mock draft experience. So this time we are going to use a mock draft that we've never used before. So let's go down to the bottom and share the screen. And here we go. We'll find out how this all goes. And this is the Sports Kita mock draft. Never used it before. All right. 7 rounds, fast, 49ers, enter draft. Once click that away. And away we go. Away we go. Let's see how this goes. All right, Caleb goes 1 to the Bears. Not a surprise. Niners are sitting there at 31. We'll make trades if we want to make trades. I like this trade. 42 and 59. You get 3 trade offers. Houston's offering 42 and 59. Raiders are offering 44 and 77. And Cincinnati's offering 49 and 194. All right, let's hide that and see who's on the board. Who's the best player on the board? J.J. McCarthy's on the board. Wow. Jerzon Newton, the big defensive tackle's on the board. Jordan Morgan's on the board. Xavier Worthy, who runs like the wind. Graham Barton. These guys are all on the board. Lad McConkey. Penix is there. It's an interesting group of guys that are there, but Rukaroro down at 57. All right, let's go back to the trade offers. 42 and 59. 40. Yeah, I'm going to go 42 and 59. I'm going to move 131 and 124 for 42 and 59. Here we go. We'll accept that from the Texans. So now we'll move down to 42, and we can move down 3 more spots and pick up 199. I'm going to do that as well. So now we're down 3 spots. All right. They're offering us more trades, but now I don't want to trade. Now I'm just going to hide and pick. So Penix just went 44 to the Broncos. And now Graham Barton's still on the board. I could get Graham Barton. I could go Christian Haynes, McKinley Jackson, Keon Coleman. Now those guys, I like Rukaroro quite a bit. And Cedric Gray's right there. Do I go linebacker or do I go with the defensive lineman? That's a tough one. Wow. Rukaroro is a very special player for sure. But the need at linebacker is a starter need. So I'm going to go with Cedric Gray to start off. There's Peyton Wilson as well. But I'm going to go Cedric Gray. Go for the sure thing. Now I'm at 59, and the Rams are offering 83 and 99 and a 4th. I'm going to say no. I'll hide that. So who's on the board now at the top? I can still get Graham Barton if I want, but I like some of the offensive linemen late. I could still go Aurora if I wanted. That's interesting. If I look at my picks, I pick 63. So I'm going to go Rukaroro right here. This guy's a monster. If you guys watch this guy's tape, it's crazy good. So I'm going to go Aurora, 6'4", 295. He's really powerful. Love him. Taking him right there. All right, now we're at 63, and Baltimore's offering 93 and 130. I got another offer. I can go to 65 and 142. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Move down 2 spots for another pick. I'll do it. So now I'm at 65. Minnesota's offering 108. No, I'm not going to do that. Denver's offering 3 picks, but it's dropping down too far. So let's check the board. Who's on the board right now? And is it somebody that... Wait a second. Let's move down here so we can see it. Get that out of the way. Get this out of the way. All right. Now this is the first pick of the 3rd round. I've already got a linebacker and a defensive tackle. And I've got some extra picks now. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 more picks. So I'm going best player available. I'm going best player available. Let's see who's on the board. You got, let's see, you've got a bunch of different guys here. How do I move? There we go. Peyton Wilson, Patrick Paul, Cole Bishop would be a nice player from Utah. I know, but I'm in love with Blake Corum, and I'm thinking Blake Corum's going to be great. So I'm taking Blake Corum. Right now, if I'm a 49er, I'm doing cartwheels. I love Blake Corum. I think Blake Corum's going to be super, super special. And I think there could be a day where you flexed out McCaffrey and used him as a receiver and used Corum as a running back. Okay, now you have two trade offers, pack, 94 to 126 and 94 to 108, including 130. That's intriguing, but now I'm just going to pick. Okay, so who's on the board that's intriguing? They need a tight end. Theo Johnson's there. But, oh my gosh, in this mock, Zach Frazier is there, the center. And I love Zach Frazier. And I think he's an absolute monster. So I'm taking Zach Frazier. This is so far just going exceptionally well. So now I'm in the fourth round. I'm at pick 132. Oh my gosh. See, now here's where I don't know about this mock draft, about some of these guys. Some of these guys that I really love are right there. Braden Fisk from Florida State. Rice's kid. I really like Rice's kid. Mason McCormick, but I also pick in 3 picks. So I'm going to take Braden Fisk. Heck yeah. Braden Fisk has got a motor that just never ends. Love Braden Fisk. Loved his footwork at the combine. Loved his one-on-ones in Mobile. Loved his production in college. I'm going Braden Fisk. Now I'm picking at 135. All right, so what do I got? I've got a linebacker, plug-and-play linebacker. I got Rukaroro, a defensive tackle. I've got Blake Corum, a running back. I've started my offensive line rebuild with Zach Frazier, and I've got Braden Fisk, and I picked 2 times in the next 7 picks. So I could go offensive line here, and I think I will. And I'm going to go Mason McCormick from South Dakota State. Love him. Absolutely love him. This guy is really, really good. So Mason McCormick comes to me at 135. Now I'm at 142. I'm looking at, I love all day Ray Davis, but I've got Corum. I don't need him. I love James Williams from Miami. And that might be the pick. He's a really good player, but let's go down the list. Christian Jones is an offensive tackle from Texas who's a monster. The running back from South Dakota State's really good, Isaiah Davis, but I've already got Corum. I really don't need another running back. I'll look further down the list. Jaheim Bell is a guy the coach literally loves, the tight end. Trevor Keegan was the captain at Michigan, kind of like that. Darius Muasau from UCLA is a major tackling monster, but I'm going Garrett Greenfield. I know I just went with Mason McCormick, South Dakota State guard. Now I'm going Garrett Greenfield, South Dakota State tackle. Let these guys play next to each other. They played next to each other for the last 3 or 4 years at South Dakota State. Let them play next to each other with the Niners. I like that pick. Garrett Greenfield right there is a steal. All right, now we're at 176. We're the last pick of the 5th round. And, if you look at the needs, I mean, you got linebacker, you've got 2 defensive tackles, so who can really help you. You got a running back, you got a center, a guard, and a tackle. I think you're at this point in the draft, you're drafting for the need of Dre Greenlaw not being there is done. You're moved off of Eric Armstead for two kind of younger question mark tackles, but now you've got great depth there between Aurora and Fisk. You've rebuilt your offensive line completely with 3 terrific players, and you got a running back. So now I'm looking towards my defensive backfield. So let's see who's out there, and let's see how this goes. Dadrion Taylor Demerson from Texas Tech is just a hyperactive playmaking machine. I mean, he's just ridiculous. But let's check. Let's now look closer at these spots and who's available. Man, at this point, I'm going Cam Kinchins. I know a lot of people don't like Cam Kinchins. I'm not in that camp. I do like him. I'm probably taking him. Let me check the cornerback list. Jarvis Brownlee is a real good player. Elijah Jones is a really good player. But I'm going Cam Kinchins. Yeah, I love that pick. Oh, my God. To get Cam Kinchins there is an absolute steal. All right, now we're at 199. Let's once again check the all list. Audric Estime could be a fullback. You know, he could be your replacement for Juice. You know, he's 5'11", 227. He ran slow. He's more of a running back than a fullback, but maybe the Niners could use him as a fullback. Tyrone Tracy is a good back from Purdue. Nathaniel Watson's a good linebacker from Mississippi State. Mahogany. Oh my God, the fact that Mahogany and Blake Fisher are still here. If I needed more offensive linemen, I might want to take those guys. Tanner McLaughlin is a good receiving tight end from Arizona. Love that one. But the offensive line's kind of taken care of. Let's just see if there's anybody who's just down this list that really was overlooked. Jalen Carley's from Missouri. This guy, now, is he a linebacker? He might be a linebacker. He's an oversized college safety for sure, but he's a player. Man, that guy's a player. Let's take a look at the safety list. Tyke Smith, Damani Richardson, Oladapo is a good player from Oregon State. Carley's. Sione Vaki. You know, they looked at Sione Vaki. Kenny Logan's a hitter. I'm looking for a certain player here. We'll see if he's down the list. He's from Oregon. And he might be listed as a linebacker because he might be a linebacker. But I'm looking for, is his name Hill, I believe? Makari Page is there. That's not bad either. Davon Ferguson's a good player from Bowling Green. All right, let's check the linebacker list just to make sure who's left. Tyrese Knight's a hell of a player. He had the best from UTEP, the best 10-yard split of any linebacker. Aaron Casey from Indiana's hyperactive tackler. I love Kalen DeLoach from Florida State. Let's look further down the line here. Kari Coleman is one of my favorite players from Ole Miss. Looking for him later on, maybe. I don't see the Oregon kid, which means that he might be a late round guy. All right, let's take a look at the corners. Some Jarvis Brownlee, Elijah Jones. I think I'm going Elijah Jones from Boston College. All right, now we're at pick 211, and God, this is a hell of a draft. So we've got Cedric Gray, Rook Ororo, Blake Corum, Zach Frazier, Braden Fisk, Mason McCormick, Garrett Greenfield, Cam Kinchins, Elijah Jones, and we still have 3 more picks left. So what do you need? You got a corner, you got a safety, you've rebuilt your offensive line with a center, a guard, and a tackle. You got 2 defensive tackles, you got a running back, and you got a linebacker. So you haven't gotten a tight end, and you haven't gotten you could probably even use another safety. Well, let's go all. Let's go all and see who the best players on the board are. There's some good ones there. Blake Fisher from Notre Dame, offensive tackle. That'd be good. Jacob Cowing from Arizona. That's not bad. Marcus Harris, a good defensive tackle. From the University of Auburn. Jaden Crumedy from Mississippi State's not bad. That's interesting. There's a bunch of guys. Man, you can never have enough corners. You got Frank Gore Jr. sitting right there. Oh, I'm going Muhammad Kamara. Here you go. Right here. Edge rusher, Muhammad Kamara from Colorado State. The fact that he's still on the board is just ridiculous. All right, let's check the tight end list. Eric All, who they looked at, Isaac Rex, good tight end. I mean, this guy freshman year led the nation in receiving touchdowns from the tight ends position. Dallin Holker, good player from Colorado State. At this point, I'm looking for some sleepers. They don't have my guy Mason Pline, which tells me what a deep sleeper he really is. They don't have him at all. Let's check the running back list for sleepers. It's always there's Score, there's Garendo. Garendo's a hell of a player. Dajuan Edwards is a player. Blake Watson is a player. Fenwick, I like from Oregon State. There's a bunch of guys here. Bunch of interesting running backs. Jabari Small from Tennessee is tremendous. I love Jabari Small. Let's look at the quarterbacks. Austin Reed. Do you want a quarterback here? I don't know. I don't see any of the quarterbacks that really make me go, well, I guess Jordan Travis is not bad. Receiver wise, let's take a look at that. Flournoy from Southeast Missouri can absolutely run. Tulu Griffin from Mississippi State can absolutely run. I'm going Javon Baker. Oh, wait a second. I'm going Luke McCaffrey. I'll go Luke McCaffrey right there. Now that's living right. And now we have one more pick. I believe this is the last pick. Man, what do you have a need? Let's say you got linebacker, you got defensive tackle, you got defensive end. You really only needed maybe one edge guy. You got the edge guy you wanted. You got a receiver, maybe tight end. Maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the spot to look at tight end. Who's the best tight end? Isaac Rex would not be a bad call. He's a little older. He went on his Mormon mission, but man, he's a good player. There's no question about that. That's an interesting list. I'm not going to look at offensive linemen anymore. Wide receiver wise, I could still look at another receiver. Isaiah Williams, Bub Means. Those aren't good. Those aren't, those guys are not schleps. Those guys are pretty good receivers. Sakari Franklin from Ole Miss, pretty good player. That program has produced some really good receivers recently. I don't know if there's a receiver that Tyler Harrell. Oh my gosh, burner from Miami. He's still there. Jaquan Burton's a burner. At this point, I don't know that there's anybody on offense that can make their team. Now let's go defense and take a look at defense. This is their final pick. To me, I'm looking at Tyrese Knight, Kalen DeLoach, but my favorite linebacker of this group is probably Kari Coleman. I'm looking for the Oregon kid who's just tremendous. I mean, and he's not listed on here, so he's probably going to be an undrafted free agent. But if you watch this guy, I mean, this is a really special player. Oregon has number 19, and really Jamal Hill is his name. I don't see Jamal Hill on this list, but Bakari Coleman is there. Let's take a look at the safeties one more time. Jalen Carles is interesting. Sione Vaki might not be bad. Kenny Logan is a hitter. Love Kenny Logan. The rest of these guys, I don't know. I don't see a safety there. Akeem Dent was decent at Florida State. Makari Page. Okay. I don't see the safety steal. Let's see. Let's go top of the corner. Beanie Bishop from West Virginia is a good corner. But I don't know. Can he make Willie Drew, Renardo Green? Oh, these are all good players. I think I'm going another corner. I think I'm going Renardo Green. I can't believe Willie Drew and Renardo Green are both really good players. So, and is there an edge player that's just Braden McGregor? Do you go Trajan Jeffcoat's not bad. Sundiata Anderson from Grambling is pretty good. There's some interesting edge guys there for sure. The LSU kid's not bad. Jubinor from Troy is not bad. That's tough. And then defensive tackle, you already taken a couple of these guys, so there's probably not a roster spot. If there's going to be a roster spot, it's probably for a safety. And there's some good ones there. There's Josh Proctor. There's Sione Vaki. Wow. But I mean, corner is such a. I'm going to go Renardo Green. Renardo Green from Florida State's a hell of a player. So there you go. There's the mock draft. Man, that might be one of the best mock drafts I've done. In this mock draft, we grabbed Cedric Gray, who can start week 1 for Dre Greenlaw. No doubt in my mind. You could play him next to Fred Warner right now, and you'd be fantastic. You get Rukarororo, who I think's the biggest upside tackle in the entire draft. So, and he's 295 and physical. Then you get a star running back in Blake Corum. You get the best center in the draft in Zach Frazier. Then you get a really highly active defensive tackle who can help you as a situational rusher in Braden Fisk. Then you finish off your offensive line upgrade with Mason McCormick and Garrett Greenfield. So I love that. I mean, those two guys, to me, that's one of my goals in this draft. Get both those guys, Mason McCormick and Garrett Greenfield. Both those guys are tremendous, and they were tremendous together at South Dakota State. Then this draft gets even crazier because you get Cam Kinchins, who some people thought was going to be a first-round pick. And I realize he's not. He doesn't quite have the movement skills, but you're still talking about a really good football player. And to get him at 176, and then Elijah Jones, a corner who's tough, really tough and physical at 199. Then you get Mo Kamara at 211. I think Kamara might be my favorite edge rusher in the entire draft. He just comes flying off the edge. If this guy were 6'3" or 6'4", he'd go in the top 20 picks. Instead, he's 6'1". Well, who cares? Doesn't matter if you're 6'1" or 6'4". I mean, you're not going to bat down a pass or two? And then to get Luke McCaffrey at 215, and Renardo Green at 251. Renardo Green could be a starting corner for the 49ers, and McCaffrey, to get him that late, I think is a steal. So there you go. Mock draft 6.0. Man, if I could get this draft, I would be doing cartwheels. If the 49ers get this draft, they will have added significant players to their front seven, totally rebuilt their offensive line, drafted a star running back, have a really good edge player, added 2 really strong corners in Elijah Jones and Renardo Green, and got McCaffrey's brother. I mean, that's a draft right there. I would take that every day. So anyway, thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube. Mock draft 6.0 in the rear view mirror. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle. Thanks to all of you. Thanks for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.